Cary looks picture perfect until one small decision changes your commute, your school options, and your weekend lifestyle overnight. Today, we're breaking down why so many people are moving to Cary, North Carolina, heading into 2026. Plus, a few perks and some things that might deter you from coming here that most videos just skip. My family and I moved here from Southern California about 8 years ago, sight unseen. So we know how to help you avoid the common pitfalls that we definitely had. Subscribe for our weekly videos and Triangle updates to get all the action. And you can also give us a call, send us a text, or email at the number on the screen if you need any direction on Cary or any Triangle suburb. Now let's get into Cary, because the biggest surprise is at the end. First off, let's clean up the what is Cary question, because people throw that name around like it's one thing. Cary is a suburb that sits in the sweet spot between Raleigh, Durham, and the RTP corridor. And that positioning is the whole story. You've got corporate campuses and high-end skilled jobs in multiple directions, but you can still be in a neighborhood that feels safe, manicured, and honestly predictable in the best way possible. Cary has this reputation for being nice, and yes, nice parks, nice schools, nice homes, and very nice shopping. But the thing that surprises newcomers is how intentional the town has been built and rebuilt. Cary didn't just grow, it planned for growth. That shows up in the little details you feel every day. You have turn lanes that actually make sense, greenways that connect neighborhoods instead of dead-ending, and intersections that are designed like the town expects you to be on the move. And if you've driven around older suburbs where roads were added after the houses went up, you know the pain. Stoplights every quarter mile, random bottlenecks, and a commute that feels like a daily punishment. Cary is not perfect, but it's absolutely more thought through than a lot of places people compare it to in the Triangle. Now let's talk vibe, because Cary is one of those towns that's hard to describe until you've actually been there. It's family friendly without being boring, professional without feeling stiff, and active without feeling like you're strapped into a constant hustle and bustle. You'll see jogging strollers on the greenway, teenagers at the park and coming home from school, retirees walking their dogs, and a lot of people who look like they just left a meeting but still have time to catch a sunset by the lake. And yes, Cary pulls a ton of transplants. We see plenty of folks coming from California, New York, New Jersey, the Midwest, and Florida who want that high quality of life feeling, but they don't want the price tag or the chaos that came with it back home. When we moved here from Southern California sight unseen, the biggest shock was how easy daily life felt here compared to what we were used to, especially once we learned which pockets of Cary matched our lifestyle. Here's the other piece. Cary is not just a bedroom community anymore. That's the old story in the old Cary. The new story heading into 2026 is that Cary is becoming a destination on its own right. It's building more of a downtown identity, bringing in higher end dining and entertainment. And of course, it's adding mixed use projects that make it feel less like suburbs and more like a small city that happens to be insanely livable. If you haven't been in a while, downtown Cary is the glow up. There's a real sense of energy around it now. And a big reason is the park, and it's insane. Downtown Cary Park has become a true anchor, one of those places that gets programmed constantly, so it's not just a pretty space you visit once. It's the events, concerts, markets, family activities, and the hey, let's meet there moments that actually gives downtown a heartbeat. And for 60 plus million that they spent on it, it definitely should, and it is. And right around that downtown core, you've had major private development that continues to reshape the area. You can feel it in the way downtown is getting denser and more walkable. That definitely matters because Cary's historically was a car-centric area. Now you're getting more options where you can park once and actually have an afternoon. Now shift a few minutes away and you've got a whole different kind of energy at Fenton. If you've heard people talk about Fenton like it's Cary's version of a modern mixed-use district, that is not hype. It's shopping, restaurants, offices, and hangout spaces all stacked together, and it's still expanding and filling in. It's one of those places where you can run errands, grab dinner, and end up staying longer than you planned because it's designed to keep you there. But wait, there's more. Phase 2 of Fenton will actually include more apartments, office spaces, retail, a new hotel called the Pagemore, and definitely check it out online. And there's major infrastructure like the Kinnear Drive extension, adding substantial square footage and amenities to the large mixed-use complex. This will create a more complete destination for living, working, and entertainment. And here's why that matters for 2026. Projects like downtown Cary and Fenton are changing how people choose where to live inside Cary. In the past, buyers would say, I want Cary, and then pick a neighborhood based on schools. Now we see people say, I want walkability, or I want to be near the park, or I want a short drive to Fenton, or I want older trees and character. Cary is becoming lifestyle segmented, not just school segmented, and that is a big deal. Let's talk location and commute reality, because Cary's geography is one of the biggest flexes it has. You're close to RDU, close to the RTP, and you can shoot into Raleigh pretty quickly when traffic cooperates. You have the I-40, you have the US 64, the NC 55, and you've got the Triangle Expressway corridor. And that regional road network is still evolving over the next several years, which will keep reshaping how long does it take conversations about Cary. Translation, Cary is already well located, but the region is still building more capacity and more connections. That's great long term, but short term, it can mean construction zones and shifting patterns. So when someone tells you, oh, it's only 50 minutes, I always tell my clients, 15 minutes when? Is it Tuesday at 11 a.m. or Monday at 8:10 when every school and every office is moving at the same time? Now what about the schools? Cary is in the Wake County public school system, and Wake County is massive. But Cary in particular has a long list of schools that people request by name. And yes, many of them are highly rated, like Green Hope High, Panther Creek High, and Green Level High, and many private schools like Cary Academy. But here's the part transplants don't expect, especially if you're coming from states like we did, where zoning is simple and stable. Wake County can reassign, cap, and adjust your kids based on just growth. So you don't want to buy solely on a school name you heard from a friend. If schools are a priority, you want to verify your address for that specific year, and you want to understand the difference between base assignments, capping, and what happens when enrollment shifts. This is one of those pitfalls we learned moving from California, because back in California, people would buy specifically for a school and assume they were locked in. Here, it's a little bit more dynamic. It doesn't mean bad, it just means you want to do your homework so you're not surprised after closing. And give us a call. We would love to put you in the right direction. And the cool thing is, Cary also offers strong alternatives if you're the kind of family that likes options. Magnets, charters, and private schools are all part of the conversation in this area. And the Raleigh-Triangle's university ecosystem keeps the education culture strong. Even if you don't have kids, that matters because it's one of the reasons employers like this region and why housing demand stays resilient. Now let's get into what people actually do here, because the daily lifestyle is the reason Cary wins people over. Cary is a parks and greenways town. It's one of the best places in the Triangle for I want to be outdoors, but not drive 45 minutes to get there. You've got trails, lakes, preserves, and parks that make it easy to live active without feeling like you have to plan a whole expedition. Baum Park is a classic. If you've never been, think lake, trails, sports fields, and that we're going to walk, but it turns into to an hour because it's so peaceful feeling. Hemlock Bluffs is another favorite, and it's one of those spots that feels like you teleported into a different ecosystem for a few minutes. And then you've got places like Lake Crabtree nearby that give you more water and woods options without leaving the immediate area. Here's what I love about Cary parks compared to a lot of other towns. They're integrated into neighborhoods. You don't always feel like you have to get in the car to find a place to be outside. Many communities have pocket parks, playgrounds, and greenway access that makes weekend mornings simple. You'll have coffee, stroller, dog trail. That is the Cary routine. And speaking of routines, Cary's calendar is always doing something. Between downtown events, seasonal festivals, performances, and big regional draws at Cocoa Booth Amphitheater, we've got plenty of we should definitely do something options without needing to head to Raleigh or Durham. Cary has quietly become one of the best towns in the Triangle for family-friendly entertainment that doesn't feel cheesy. Now let's talk food and drink, because Cary's culinary scene has grown up. You've got staples that locals will fight over. La Farm is a perfect example and one of our family's personal faves. If you know, you know. But you've also got a newer wave of restaurants and bars that feel more modern, more curated, and honestly, more exciting than what Cary had a decade ago. Downtown has more options than ever. Fenton has pulled in big names, and the overall vibe has shifted from suburb dining to destination dining. Bond Brothers is still one of the most recognizable names for craft beer in a relaxed hangout atmosphere, and it's kind of a place where you'll see families, friends, groups, and people with dogs all in the same place. Also, Doc B's in Fenton has incredible food and incredible ambiance that Brandy and I love. Check out Scratch Kitchen and Tap Room, which has amazing firecracker shrimp and mac and cheese. These restaurants are all Cary in one snapshot. Polished but laid back. Social but not chaotic. Now I want you to comment something for me so we can talk about it in the next video, because I'm always curious where people land on this. If you move to Cary or you're thinking about it, what matters more to you? Being close to downtown Cary Park, being close to Fenton, or being tucked into a quiet neighborhood with older trees and greenway access? Drop park, Fenton, or trees in the comments so I can see what lifestyle you're chasing. And if you don't know, it's an important one to think about before you do your tour. Now let's talk about housing. This is the part everybody cares about. And it's also the part where people get the most frustrated if they're not prepared. Cary is typically more expensive than several surrounding towns. That's just reality. The median home price as of November 2025 is $620,000, adding townhomes, and $680,000 for just single-family homes, which is a big difference between the other towns. You're paying for location, schools, parks, perceived safety, and that polish factor. And heading into 2026, Cary is still in demand because it sits in the middle of the region's job engine. So what does that mean to you? It means your strategy definitely matters. If you want a newer turnkey home in a master plan community with amenities, you're usually going to be in a higher price band. If you want a smaller home, a townhome, or you're open to an older neighborhood where you might update over time, you can often find more approachable entry points. And this is where Cary gets interesting, because a town is not just one uniform housing product. You have pockets with big custom homes on large lots. You have golf course communities. You have classic established subdivisions near downtown with mature trees. And you have newer West Cary builds that feel like modern suburban living with pools, clubhouses, and sidewalks that actually get used. West Cary has been one of the most active areas for new construction and newer communities. It's where you see a lot of families who want that everything is new, the community has amenities, the schools are strong, and the neighbors are in the same season of life feeling. You also tend to be closer to certain shopping centers, newer commercial nodes, which makes daily errands easy. You definitely want to visit Amberley, which is a large master plan community with amazing walkability, and it also includes a 55 plus community called the Carolina Preserve at Amberley. It's awesome. Another one of my favorites, Preston, which has a high-end golf community and prestigious homes, is one to see. Closer to downtown Cary, you definitely get a different feel. More character, older homes, and those neighborhoods where you can tell the area has definitely been loved for decades. You have trees that are bigger, lots can feel more established, and you get quicker access to downtown restaurants, events, and the park. If you're the kind of person who wants charm and doesn't mind that the home might have an older floor plan, this can be your sweet spot. And before you start comparing Cary to a place like where we came from, Irvine, here's the honest translation from a California perspective. Cary can feel like that planned, safe, clean, family-orientated environment, but without the beach and without the same level of super-duper sticker shock. Your dollars tend to stretch farther here than major parts of California, but Cary still isn't cheap. It's a premium suburb and the prices are like it. Now, real talk, Cary is not for everyone. Some people move here and love it immediately. Other people feel like it's too suburban, too structured, or too focused on families. If your ideal life is walkable nightlife, late night energy, and that gritty urban edge, you might prefer Raleigh inside the Beltline or parts of Durham. Cary's entertainment is more curated than chaotic. It's brunch and parks, not bar crawls until 2 a.m. And traffic is real. The same location advantages that make Cary desirable also mean it's a crossroads for commuters. Certain corridors, especially around NC 55, US 64, and I-40, can definitely slow down fast during rush hour and school times. The good news is Cary is still more manageable than many big metros like where we came from, but you need to respect the peaks. One of the most underrated Cary pro tips is to plan your life around your daily pattern. If you commute to the RTP, you can pick areas that make that commute feel easy. If you go to Raleigh on the daily, you definitely need to prioritize access points that keep you from fighting the worst bottlenecks. If you work from home and want lifestyle, you can definitely choose based on greenways, shopping, and downtown proximity. Cary is a town where micro-location can either make you feel a lot like a genius or make you wonder why you didn't ask more questions. And that's exactly why we tell people to treat Cary like a set of lifestyle zones. Don't just say Cary, say Cary near downtown, West Cary, Cary near the RTP access, or Cary near the trails. Once you do that, the whole search gets way easier. Now let's talk what's changing heading into 2026, because that is definitely what you asked for. What are the updated projects and the current vibe? Cary's downtown investment is continuing. We've already seen major mixed-use projects completed, and there's a lot more in motion, which means downtown is going to keep becoming more of a true center, not just a cute strip. Fenton is still filling in and expanding its offerings. And when a mixed-use district like that matures, you tend to see more events, more restaurant variety, and more "this feels like a place people plan around." And as new hospitality pieces come online in that area, it can pull even more visitors and business travel, which keeps the whole district active beyond weekends. There's also a longer-term redevelopment story happening with older commercial sites in Cary that are being reimagined into new mixed-use district environments over the next decade. Cary's future is becoming more intentional about density, housing variety, and creating places where people can live, work, and play in tighter footprints. All right, let's make this practical. If you're considering Cary, here are the types of things you will be looking for that Cary fits best heading into 2026. If you want a safe, clean, family-friendly environment with strong schools and easy access to parks, Cary is hard to beat. Your weekends will be greenways, festivals, farmers markets, sports fields, and let's meet some friends at the park time. If you're a professional who wants to be close to the RTP, RDU, and multiple job centers, Cary gives you that central location with a higher quality daily experience, cleaner commercial areas, well-maintained neighborhoods, and a town that invests in its public spaces. If you're moving from out of state and you want a predictable landing pad where things feel organized, you can find good grocery options, there are plenty of services nearby, and you don't want to feel like you're taking a huge risk, Cary is a very comfortable choice. Now, who might not love Cary? If you want acreage, barns, or a very rural lifestyle, you'll likely feel boxed in here. Cary lots can be smaller and the town is not built for spread it out. If you're chasing land, you might look at areas further out. If you need a lower price point and you want a detached house under a certain number, Cary can feel very frustrating because you're competing in a high demand market. Now don't get me wrong, there are ways to do it, townhomes, older homes, or specific pockets, but you want to go in with clear expectations. If you're single and want a late night scene, you may still enjoy Cary, but you'll probably find yourself spending more time in Raleigh or Durham for that specific vibe. Now let me drop a few neighborhood style examples just to help you visualize it. Think of this as a mental map rather than a strict list. If you want master planned amenities, sidewalks, pools, and a more modern suburb feel, you are often looking toward West Cary communities. That's where you'll see newer builds and neighborhoods that feel very community driven. If you want golf courses, prestige, and that country club lifestyle, Cary has definitely established options that are known across the Triangle and honestly across the country. You'll see larger homes, high-end landscaping, and a more luxury-oriented environment. If you want trails, lakes, and a calm, nature-forward neighborhood feel, there are communities that lean into that tree-lined, serene, outdoorsy identity. Those areas tend to be more popular with people who prioritize walking, biking, and quieter daily pace. If you want downtown proximity and older charm, the neighborhoods closer to the core deliver that with the bonus of being near the park and the growing downtown restaurant scene. And because people always ask, is Cary walkable? The honest answer is parts of Cary are becoming walkable and many neighborhoods are walkable inside themselves. But Cary as a whole is still largely car-based. The best walkability tends to be near downtown Cary and near districts like Fenton or within certain communities that have trail connections. If your dream is true, walk everywhere. Cary can do it in pockets, but it's not the same as living in a dense city neighborhood. Now before we wrap, I want to hit something that people don't talk about enough. The social side of Cary. Cary can feel easy to live in, but newcomers often say, how do we meet people? The good news is Cary makes it easier than you'd think because so much of the town revolves around public spaces and programming. Parks, community centers, sports leagues, farmers markets, cultural festivals, and school communities are real connection points. If you're a parent, you'll meet people through schools, sports, and neighborhood amenities pretty quickly. If you're not a parent, the move is to plug into events downtown, get involved in fitness groups on the greenways, join hobby-based meetups, and treat places like breweries and park events as social spaces. Cary is definitely social, you just have to show up. And if you're watching this because you're thinking about moving here, this is where we can help in a practical way. We can break down Cary by lifestyle, not just price range, which is super important. We can compare commutes at real times of the day, explain which areas feel more established versus more new, and help you understand the school assignment nuances so you don't get surprised later. So give us a call, text, or email us anytime and we'll send you over our free relocation guides and help you map out a game plan. Here's one more unique Cary thing that doesn't get talked about enough. The international community here is definitely real and it shapes everyday life in a good way. You'll definitely notice it in the grocery stores, restaurants, festivals, and even in the sports you see at the local parks. That diversity makes Cary feel more global than most suburbs its size, which is a big perk for a lot of newcomers. And one practical tip, in Cary, definitely pay attention to HOA rules and future road plans before you fall in love with the house. Some communities have strict exterior rules, rental limits, or amenity fees, and you definitely want it to all match to your lifestyle and your budget. Now, the biggest surprise I teased at the beginning, the Cary mistake that costs people the most money and time. And what is that? Thinking Cary is one market and making a decision based on a single headline, like the Cary has great schools, or Cary is expensive, or Cary's traffic is bad. All those definitely can be true in certain pockets and at certain times, but they're not universally true the same way everywhere. I've definitely seen buyers overpay because they chase one specific school name without realizing a nearby pocket had the same lifestyle fit with less competition. I've seen people pick an area that looked great on a map, then realize their daily commute hits a bottleneck that adds 20 minutes every morning. And I've also seen families choose a neighborhood that felt perfect, but the lifestyle they wanted, like the parks, events, walkability, was actually in a different pocket just 5 minutes away. The win is when you match Cary to your actual lifestyle. And you gotta ask questions like, where do you work? What do you do on weekends? Are you a trails and coffee person? A shopping and dinner out person? A kids and sports field person? Or a quiet neighborhood and easy errands person? The good news is Cary has a version of all that, but you want the right version. So if Cary is on your short list for 2026, do not pick it like a tourist. Pick it like someone who's gonna live there every day. And that's why Brandy and I have boots on the ground to help you out. And before you go, I definitely want to hear from you again in the comment section. What's the one thing you're most nervous about if you move to Cary? Is it the home prices, traffic, schools, or just choosing the right area? Drop that below in the comment section and I'll reply with what we're seeing right now on the ground. If Cary is on your radar for 2026 and beyond, we'd love to help you with our move. Our number is right here on the screen. Give us a call, send us a text, or an email. And if you're still in the figuring it out mode, that works too, no pressure. Subscribe so you can get my weekly videos, and also check out our sister channel, Life in Raleigh, with hundreds more videos with foods, neighborhoods, schools, jobs, and a whole lot more. My family and I moved here from Southern California 8 years ago, sight unseen. Definitely learned fast that the right guidance matters. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'll catch you on the next one.